Anubis, the guardian of the afterlife. Unveiling the mystery of ancient Egypt's god of the dead. Who is Anubis? Anubis was one of the oldest gods in the Egyptian religion, with depictions of him appearing as early as the first dynasty, around 3000 BCE. But where did Anubis come from? To understand his origins, we need to take a deep dive into Egyptian cosmology. Anubis is one of the most iconic gods in Egyptian mythology, easily recognizable by his human body and the head of a jackal or dog. He is the god of mummification, protector of graves, and guide to the afterlife. His name, Inpu or Anpu, means royal child, a reflection of his origins in Egyptian mythology. The parents of Anubis varies between myths, times, and sources. In early mythology, he was portrayed as a son of Ra. In the coffin texts, which were written in the first intermediate period, Anubis is the son of either the cow goddess Hesat or the cat-headed Bastet. Another tradition depicted him as the son of Ra and Nephthys. More commonly, however, he is recognized as the offspring of Osiris and Isis. Though others mention him as a son of Set, the god of chaos in ancient Egypt, the gods were closely tied to the forces of nature and the celestial world. Anubis's role as the god of the dead and the protector of mummification was essential to the very foundation of Egyptian belief in the afterlife. In ancient Egypt, the gods were not just beings of myth and legend, they were the very foundation of life and death. And among them stood a figure who ruled the shadowy realms of the dead, Anubis, the jackal-headed god of mummification and the afterlife. But who was Anubis, and what role did he play in the lives and beliefs of the ancient Egyptians? Subscribe to this channel and journey with us through time to uncover the story of one of Egypt's most revered deities. The role of Anubis in Egyptian mythology. Anubis was central to the Egyptian belief system, and his primary role was that of the protector and guide to the dead. His responsibilities stretched from overseeing the embalming process to guiding souls to the afterlife. Anubis was credited with the invention of mummification, which was an essential practice in ensuring a person's safe journey to the afterlife. It was believed that the preservation of the body was necessary for the soul to live on eternally. In the afterlife, Anubis played a key role in the weighing of the heart, a critical event that determined whether a soul would be granted passage to the field of reeds, a paradise for the deceased. In this process, Anubis would weigh the deceased's heart against the feather of Ma'at, the goddess of truth and justice. If the heart was lighter than the feather, the soul was deemed pure and worthy of entering the afterlife. If it was heavier, the soul was devoured by Amit, the demoness. Anubis overseeing the weighing of the heart in the Book of the Dead. Anubis, the jackal-headed god. The jackal also carries deep symbolism. The jackal was a common scavenger in ancient Egypt, often seen prowling around tombs and burial sites. The ancient Egyptians believed that the jackal's association with the dead was a sign of its connection to the afterlife. Anubis, as a jackal-headed god, symbolized both the protector of graves and the guide who ushered souls to the next world. Another key symbol tied to Anubis is the color black, a color that symbolized regeneration, life, the soil of the Nile River, and the discoloration of the corpse after embalming. Anubis is associated with Wepwawet, another Egyptian god portrayed with a dog's head or in canine form, but with grey or white fur. Historians assume that the two figures were eventually combined. Anubis's female counterpart is Anput. His daughter is the serpent goddess Khebechet. Though Anubis was a powerful deity, his relationships with other gods in the Egyptian pantheon shaped his role. Anubis's father, Osiris, was the god of the afterlife, but it was Anubis who took on the practical duties of guiding the dead. Despite this, Anubis was loyal to his father's legacy and assisted in his resurrection. Anubis was said to help embalm Osiris's body after Set killed him. Horus, Osiris's son, was the god of the living and kingship. Anubis's relationship with Horus was complex, as some myths place Anubis in a protective role over Horus in his infancy. Set, the god of chaos, was often in conflict with Anubis, especially since Set was linked to disorder and death, while Anubis sought order and protection for the dead. In some stories, Anubis is shown as counteracting Set's destructive influences. Anubis's significance in Egyptian culture extended beyond the myths. His influence was felt in daily life, particularly in funerary practices and religious rituals. Temples dedicated to Anubis were constructed throughout Egypt, particularly near necropolises like Saqqara, where the god's influence over death was most strongly revered. In the tombs of the pharaohs, elaborate offerings were made to Anubis to ensure that the deceased would be protected in the afterlife. These rituals often included prayers, incense, figurines of Anubis, the Book of the Dead. An ancient Egyptian funerary text contains numerous references to Anubis. He was invoked to protect the deceased during their journey through the underworld and to offer guidance in navigating its dangers. Although the ancient Egyptian civilization eventually fell, the legacy of Anubis continues to resonate in modern culture. Anubis has appeared in various forms in modern media, from movies to video games, where he is often depicted as a guardian of death or a protector of ancient tombs. Anubis's role as a protector and guide for the dead, combined with his mystique, makes him one of the most enduring and revered figures in Egyptian mythology. His symbolism resonates with those who seek understanding of life, death, and what might lie beyond. Anubis was far more than just a god of the dead. He embodied the reverence and respect the ancient Egyptians had for the process of death and the journey into the afterlife. His role as a protector, guide, and guardian of sacred rites left an indelible mark on Egyptian culture, one that still echoes through time. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the heart of ancient Egypt. If you enjoyed this exploration of Anubis, subscribe and join our community for more deep dives into the gods and myths of the ancient world.